Jurgen Klinsmann, Franz Beckenbauer, Boris Becker, Karl Marx, Michael Schumacher, Angela Merkel, Albert Einstein, Heidi Klum, Hans Zimmer, Kraftwerk, Rammstein, Frankfurter Sausages, David Hasselhoff? I think I've run out of German things. Anyway, your boys took one hell of a beating. Forget England versus Belgium and that bore-fest and where England finished in the group and whether Gareth Southgate deliberately lost that game. Germany getting knocked out of the World Cup is far more important, as Jogi Löw experienced the worst German defeat on Russian soil since a little fella with a bad haircut and a funny tash decided that St. Petersburg would be a nice place for a summer holiday. It's no real shock that the Germans are on their way home, however, or at least putting towels over the seats in the stadium to watch the rest of the World Cup, because it is always the same for the defending champions. In 2006, Italy won the World Cup. 4 years later, knocked out in the group stages. In 2010, it was Spain's turn. 4 years later, knocked out of the group stages. And Germany, of course, picked up the trophy in 2014. 4 years later, you guessed it, even the Germans can't break the World Cup curse. It was South Korea who were the masters of their downfall, scoring the first goal in a 2-0 win after a call from the video ref. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Don't mention the VAR! I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it. It was the second goal, though, that got everyone talking. The world's best goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer, seemed to forget he was playing in quite an important football match and just went for a little wander around the pitch, leaving an open goal for the Korean striker to tap into. It was a moment that football fans around the world thoroughly enjoyed, unless they were German. And it's even better if you add a little bit of music to it.
Neuer now is playing as a midfield player. There's going to be another goal here. This will be it. Song Heung-min, 2-0, that is it. 2-0 to South Korea. Incredible.
The more you watch that goal, the more you realise the keeper was nowhere near it. Near it? Nowhere near it? Forget it. Anyway, this is great news for England. It's going to be lovely to have a completely different team knocking us out of the World Cup on penalties later on. Maybe that team will be Argentina, after they scraped through the group stages with a 2-0 win over Nigeria. The man of that moment was Marcus Rojo, who popped up with 4 minutes left on the clock to steal a place in the knockout stages courtesy of his right leg. A fact which even surprised his own mum, who told Argentinian TV,
"Because the kick was right-footed and he only uses the right foot to support himself, so we did not think it was Marcos."
Mum! It's good to know that international footballers can still be embarrassed by dear old mum. Anyway, she's wrong. If you've ever seen Rojo play for Manchester United, you will know he doesn't just use his right leg to stand on, he also uses it to kick the opposition. If Mrs. Rojo didn't realise her son had scored, then the opposite of that reaction came from Diego Maradona, who chose the winning goal as the moment to do the second most offensive thing he has ever done with his hands. As the goal went in, Maradona, wide-eyed, frothing at the mouth and clearly inspired by Robbie Williams, gave a double one-fingered salute to the Nigerian fans. Classy! I know it didn't really work out for him as a manager of the national team, but has anyone ever considered making him Argentina's foreign secretary? It'd be no weirder than giving the job to Boris Johnson. The one thing is certain from that video. The real winners on the night weren't the Argentinian football team at all. It was the St. Petersburg providers of illicit substances. Forget the beer shortage. I think it might be something else that becomes in short supply when Mr. Maradona's been in town. With all the attention on the World Cup though, those back home might feel like they can get away with a little bit more than normal. And when getting away with quite a lot is normal, that's when there's a problem. Rojo's Manchester United teammate Luke Shaw has been roundly criticised this season for his fitness. In fact, maybe roundly isn't the correct use of words there, particularly given the photos of Luke Shaw on holiday in Ibiza. I can tell you one thing for sure, there may be a beer shortage in Russia, but there is not a beer shortage where he's staying. He doesn't look exactly fit and ready to compete for a place in Mourinho's team next season, and some sources close to him are claiming he could be looking for a move in this transfer window. I don't know what those sources are, but by the looks of the photo, I'd probably guess they're ketchup, mustard and barbecue. Danke and auf Wiedersehen. That is the show done. I'm off to put all my money on England winning the World Cup, but don't worry, I will return, probably when I've lost all that money. If you've not followed us on Twitter, do that. If you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, do that with the little button at the bottom right of your screen now, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.